Claudine Spotnelli is back at the news anchor's desk for the Leopards News Network. So many faces being eaten, so many stories to get to. Let's jump right into it. Take it away, Claudine. This was a post in the conservative subreddit. He says, "Why are we firing Forest Service National Park Service workers?" So he says, "Let me start by saying I'm a Trump supporter. I voted for him and agree with the vast majority of what his administration has done. So don't mistake this for some rhino drivel. However, why the F are we firing MP and FS workers?" In fiscal year 2025, the National Park Service's budget was approximately $3.09 billion, while the U.S. Forest Service budget was about $7.4 billion. Combined, these agencies account for roughly $10.5 billion in federal spending. To put that into perspective, the Department of Defense's budget for the same year was $695.9 billion. This means that the combined budget of the MPS and USFS constitute only 1.5% of the Defense Department's budget. Given the invaluable services these agencies provide, maintaining our national parks, preserving natural habitats, and offering recreational opportunities, their cost to taxpayers is minimal. This part is the most important. All of my hobbies revolve around the outdoors: hunting, fishing, hiking, camping, you name it. So when I see reports popping up about Forest Service workers being laid off, it hit close to home. These are people who manage and protect the very places that make those activities possible for me. For me. Laying them off is flat out idiotic. That said, I have no idea if some of these reports are just fake news. If that's the case, someone feel free to educate me. But if it's true, I'm genuinely struggling to see the justification here. I'm open to hearing a legitimate argument, but honestly, I doubt there's one that holds water. Prove me wrong. He posted that in the conservative subreddit, so you know he got pushback from from the other conservatives in the group. He says, edit. I see both sides are losing the plot here, so let me clear a few things up. To the conservatives in this sub calling me a liberal because I don't blindly agree with every single thing the Trump administration does, get real. Disagreeing with a single issue doesn't suddenly flip my entire ideology. The outdoors is one of the most apolitical things there is. Preserving access to national forests, safe trails, and recreational areas shouldn't be a controversial stance. If you think that questioning something means that you're a leftist bot, you might want to rethink how fragile your views actually are. Critical thinking isn't a betrayal. And to the liberals who think this is some sort of gotcha moment, don't flatter yourself. This isn't your talking point to hijack. Wanting well-maintained trails, responsible wildlife management, and safe outdoor spaces isn't some hidden endorsement of your entire agenda. It's common sense. A lot of the things that we've been talking about is common sense. This post is about a real issue that affects everyone who enjoys the outdoors, regardless of politics. If you can't have a conversation without trying to shove everything into your partisan box, maybe this discussion isn't for you. Everything, all of his hobbies revolve around outdoors. And they're going to lay these people off. I actually agree with this, but I do not believe that, I don't believe all these people should be laid off, but I don't believe a lot of these people should be laid off. Now we have Mandy making a serious plea to Donald Trump, saying, "President Trump, thank you so much for your service and everything you're doing for our country. I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. We finally got our grant money to get our lighting replaced at Hobson Public School in Montana, where K through 12 have been struggling to keep our building in good shape. We finally got the grant money to change our fluorescent lights out to LED, which has needed to happen for years. We are right in the middle of the project when it got shut down. Was hoping you could unfreeze that project for our school so we can stay on time. Mandy, maintenance director. I'm the only one in my department. Thank you." Keep in mind, they're all about efficiency and cutting everything and firing folks and freezing funds for those other people. But I need this project done. So if you could just unfreeze it for our project, that would be cool. These people are amazing. Now we got Rita. She says, "Okay, I voted for Trump, but I am wondering who's running the country, Trump or Elon Musk? All I see on the news is Musk, and I don't watch the news much." That's because this is Musk. Musk and Daddy Vladdy, they're the ones that are pulling the puppet strings. You got it, Rita. You voted for President Musk, it looks like. Okay, so this one was kind of funny to me. It says Representative Mark Alford tells fired Kansas City federal workers God has a plan at a hostile town hall. So this publication is behind a paywall, but that's okay. I grabbed an article that quoted these people. Representative Mark Alford's usual Mondays with Mark coffee erupted into a hostile town hall style event as residents poured into a local coffee shop to express frustration over federal job cuts ushered in under President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency initiative. Now, the Missouri lawmaker is defending his message to constituents after nearly 100 residents were sent into a rage when he told them God has a plan and a purpose for your life. So I would encourage anyone who finds themselves in this situation to realize that we're going to get this economy turning again. There are jobs available, Alfred said, as residents filled the small coffee shop in downtown Belton, while dozens more lined the sidewalk outside, according to local media reports. They all showed up for what devolved into an extraordinarily heated town hall Monday, where the MAGA lawmaker praised Donald Trump and stood by the president's Doge ally, Musk, whose federal firings have reached the Kansas City region where Alford's district rests, the Kansas City Star reported. And the backlash was very clear. We don't want your God, a woman is heard screaming from the crowd in response to his remark. Our God is Christian, another yelled. Videos of the raucous encounter, part of a growing trend of protests to Trump and Musk cuts nationwide, circulating social media, show Alford being shouted down during the nearly 2-hour back and forth. He later took to X to issue a reply directly to the Star's article, where he also appeared to take a jab at those in the audience. All right, here's the full quote. God has a plan and a purpose for your life. You are not a victim, you are a victor. I was honored to be there and to hear concerns and answer questions. I only wished that we could have had a discussion. Thanks for covering today. And it actually was never a town hall. It was Mondays with Mark Coffee. We do it regularly. Usually 5 to 10 people show up and we have true conversations and try to solve issues. These people, this is going to be one of the main reasons why I do not believe that they're going to be able to cut as much as they're trying to cut, because people are getting angry with the representatives. So if these representatives keep trying to take money away from poor people, cut jobs, cut funding, all of that, these people may not have a job. So it might backfire on them. So I'm going to definitely keep watching this. I'm from Oklahoma. I know it's ruby red. And this is going to touch a lot of people. Massive Oklahoma job loss as 600 federal employees at Tinker Air Force Base will be fired tomorrow. Tinker is the largest single site employer in Oklahoma. So this person says, ha, 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 we're going to need a bigger leopard. And then this person says, what about a whale leopard? And then gave us this whale leopard. Now you have a whale leopard. You can take a screenshot just in case you ever need a whale leopard. All right, so this person says, this is getting absolutely ridiculous. For those of you who think this is just affecting federal workers, think again. Health workers are next in line to feel the impact of all this BS. I don't usually talk about my political views because honestly, it rarely changes anything. But I voted for Trump, and this is not how I imagined things would play out. This is hurting everyday Americans, the same people who work tirelessly to protect others and keep this country running. This isn't the way to get things done. He told y'all. And we told y'all that Project 2025 was going to happen. They were talking about all of these cuts. They've been talking about tax cuts for the rich for this whole time. They've been talking about getting rid of the Department of Education. The Republicans don't want poor kids to have free lunch. Y'all should have expected this. But You voted for these people. Finally, I'm going to end it with this to sum up MAGA users. Ha ha ha, the free ride is over, libs. Get used to Doge cutting everything we don't need. 2 minutes later. Dear Elon, sir, or Trump, could you please carve out a special funding for my dad's business that I inherited? It's been getting federal subsidies for decades. Please, please, please. Absolutely not.
This is a dark time. This is a hard time. The values that we have been taught to believe in are under attack by the very people who should be protecting them. And it seems every day there's a new assault, a new moment where we are told we are less than or we are divided from. And that's hard. And it is a natural instinct to want to move away from, to hide from, or just be angry at everyone. I don't look at this as a conversation of cynicism versus optimism. Cynicism acknowledges just how hard things are, and sometimes optimism pretends it's not as bad as it is. I tend to believe in something else, and that is you acknowledge what is wrong and you work towards what must be made right. But you can only measure what you're doing by the effort you're willing to put into it. Not everyone can give up 24 hours a day to focus on fighting fascism. Sometimes you can't even give up an hour because you've got so many other things on you. But with whatever time you have, use that to build something better. You see, they only win when we decide that darkness is all there is. And that can sound very idealistic, but here's what that means. It means, yes, you can listen to the news, but make sure you watch something that makes you happy when you're done. Yes, you can commiserate with someone about how tragic the moment is, but offer them also a moment of peace and grace. Decide that you're going to go and volunteer. Make that phone call to an elected official. Show up at a board meeting. And if you can do more, absolutely. But they only win, they only overwhelm us when we decide that we are defeated.
Yeah. Were you at the Henry County meeting we were at on the fly ash issue from Everett?
No, but I did watch it online.
Yeah.
That was it.
So they're doing some more testing. I know we're not meeting about that, but we'll be updating that as time goes on. They've got an interesting issue out there. Teresa says, are you with something chaos being created by?
Are you okay with
Okay. Are you okay with the chaos being created by the Department of Government Efficiency? Anytime that you have cuts, anytime that you're looking for savings in something, anytime that you're cutting back, there's going to be chaos involved.
Why not go through
Now,
appropriate channels?
President Trump,
Do it the right
when
way.
he was elected the first time, I don't think he really even thought he was going to be elected. I think everyone pretty much thought that Hillary Clinton was going to win that. He ended up winning.
So did
He did not have the people nor the plan in place to effectively run the nation from day one. And so now, he has had 4 years to formulate this plan.
So go
And he is
through
carrying out
Congress.
this precise plan. And it is swift. It's swift, and there are going to be cuts.
You waved your
And
white flag.
those cuts and the swiftness combined are going to create some chaos. But not all chaos is bad.
Yes, it is.
And so, yes, I am okay with chaos or whatever you call it, that we right-size our government.
You
Imagine, if
gave
you will,
us
that
up.
you're on a ship
You
and
gave
you're
us
headed
up.
towards a reef. Trying to steer clear of that reef, there might be some chaos trying to steer the direction of the ship.
We'll
a little
stop
different
the
direction.
chaos. You
Our
have the
nation is
power.
headed towards a reef. And if we don't do something now to avoid that reef,
You.
we are going to sink this ship.
Step
And I'm
up.
so glad that we have Donald J. Trump back behind that resolute desk, who can finally be a resolute leader that we need
That's
to be an
Elon.
effective leader, not just for our nation, but to restore our prestige and our reputation on the world stage. Let's go to our next question.
You gave up.
Karen, I've got 30 minutes. Karen, where's she from? I don't know. If,
You're mocking your constituents.
That's right.
You're
thank you very much. All right. Angie I. Where's Angie I? Angie, where are you from?
I'm from just the edge of Grandview. So I just
So you're in the 5th Congressional District.
actually kind of congress more out here than I do in
But you're in Jackson County, right?
I do barely live in Jackson County.
So Emmanuel Cleaver is your representative.
But my issue
What's
is
that
about
supposed to be?
100 people I represent.
Angie says, are you going to do everything you can to make sure people who took deferred resignations are paid?
They can't, it's illegal.
I can hear you. The whole world can hear you, Angie. I can hear you even without a microphone. She says, are you going to do everything you can to make sure people who took deferred resignations are paid? I think you're talking about the program that President Trump initiated to where you can work, you can pretty much quit your job and you get paid up until what, September? So, I'm fully in favor of living up to that commitment. I think some 40 or 50,000 people have taken
Why
that
don't
deal so far. I think there's some people who regretted they didn't take that deal. But I think in the long term, we're going to be able to provide the jobs necessary. I was just out in Columbia.
How about you resign?
I was just out in Columbia this past week. And you know, have you been to Columbia lately? It's a beautiful town, MU's there. They are looking for 3,000 people right now to fill jobs out there. Good paying jobs. We're increasing our infrastructure. That's one of the things I'm going to be doing on the Appropriations Committee, trying to build the infrastructure in Missouri.
Where?
Oh, Mike Kehoe, our great governor, I want to help you turn the Shogun State into the Grogan State.
Oh my God.
And so there are jobs available. There are 150,000 to 175,000 jobs in Missouri. And so people to take these deferred retirements who are leaving